4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey everybody, welcome back to Bella Talks TV. Thanks for taking a little break with us there. And we're now joined back with my first guest ever. So excited to have her on because she's not only just a Love Island super fan, but she's one of my besties in real life. And there's nothing better than having a friend that you can text about these shows, like watch these shows and just feel so impassioned about it and be like, is someone else in my life also seeing what I'm seeing? Like, are they experiencing what I'm experiencing? So I hold this friend so dear to me. This is my friend Joe joining us here to talk everything about the Love Island reunion. Welcome, Joe.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome,
So
girl. So
excited.
yes, ready to dive in. Where are you right
I am at home in Indiana.
now? Nice. Love it. I talk a lot on the podcast about being from the Midwest, repping the Midwest. And so I think it's always important to like kind of just give a little background about who you are and like where you are, because that can also just affect your perspective on some of these people. And we know a lot of these people in Fiji, a lot of these islanders come from all over the US, all over the world. They're global, and everybody brings like a different flavor and personality to the show. Who, we'll get into the reunion and stuff a lot, but let's just kind of gauge where you are with some of the people that were there in Fiji this summer. Who was like your favorite Islander, girl or guy?
I mean, definitely Leah. I don't care if she's from Calabasas. Like she's so normal, normal
She
girl
really
coded.
is.
And then I like when she talked about her family and getting to know her a little bit more. As far as guys, I hate to say it, but probably Aaron. He's just like so unique and bubbly, and maybe it's his accent. I don't know. I think it's just a really cool, unique character.
I'm really honestly like, I'm surprised to hear you say that. I really was not expecting to be an Aaron, like for you to be an Aaron fan, especially after the way that the reunion went and, the killer of it all, but we'll get into that. But I totally agree about Leah. She's obviously the breakout star of the season. She's up over now. She said she started with 12K followers. She's over
Yeah.
3 million now, and she has won the hearts of everybody. I think there's just something about her. Like you said, she's this Calabasas, Persian. She, even though the Kardashians are Armenian, she just has that Kardashian kind of vibe about her. But then when she
hmm
starts talking, she's not like that. She's way more down to earth. She's, still family oriented. I think that that's a cultural thing too. I agree. Like Leah's been probably my favorite from this season also.
Yeah,
What about your
honestly,
least favorite? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say that she is probably like what Kylie Jenner is trying to be and continues to fail.
100% horse girl vibes, down home farm vibes. It's like, okay, Kylie, you've never really been that girl, but
hmm
I agree. She's really like the all American, more like normal version. I really, even, I wasn't really sure like how this was going to affect her leaving the island. I was almost nervous for her to come. And, even with all of these other super trendy people that come and go and have these 15 minutes of fame and rise so fast, I was definitely
hmm
worried about her. But you're right. It seems like she is kind of handling it good and still staying like that down to earth girl. What
Yeah.
about your least favorite people that were there? Like anybody that you just like couldn't wait to see go?
I mean, are we talking about OGs or Casa
yeah,
Girls or Casa
yeah,
Boys?
yeah. Anybody there that just really like got under your skin.
I'll be honest, I don't even know if I remember all the names of all the guys that were in like the Casa house or even all the Casa Girls. But I mean, I guess Nicole, honestly, she just like from day one always rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I agree. Get total like not even necessarily mean girl vibes from her, but there's just something like I always try to think about who I would really want to hang out with in real life. And if I
Yeah.
was out and like meeting people, like I just could totally see myself gravitating way more towards Leah, Serena, than hanging out
Yeah.
with Nicole. I agree. She just there's something about her, and I think you know, obviously the Kendall situation is absolutely wild.
hmm
Also a little bit of a sidebar. Did you watch that Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders show on Netflix?
I've seen parts, but I haven't like sat down all through it.
there's like a weird tie because one of the girls that's on there that doesn't end up making the team,
Yeah.
she like dated him and is in
Mm-hmm.
kind of in this mess and stuff. So I've just been like down this
Yeah.
wormhole of all this drama. I mean, for those of you who don't know, I mean, how do you not know by this situation by now? But you know, while they were filming Love Island in Fiji, there was some time where Kendall spent some alone time in his hotel room and apparently was approached by somebody who we don't really know like who this mystery person is that was on Raya, I guess, but somebody I guess solicited him for some of these sexual pictures, and unfortunately they have circulated and they're wild. They're like, it's not your Drake dick pic.
Mm-mm. No,
It
it
is
is
something that
not.
we've
It's
never
it's
really
a whole
seen
video. It's a
before.
whole video.
Okay,
The
see, I've
snippet
been
of
too
it
afraid
was
to look for
risky.
it.
I haven't even seen the video either. And I'll be honest,
Yeah,
I
me
haven't
either.
even actually seen the photo. Like I kind of saw, people posting it like what is acceptable on social media. But, I'm not trying to see all that, but people are talking about, you know, alluding to what it is. But the snippet itself, like the screenshot, is already risky. And then the fact that there's a whole video, I don't
No,
know.
it's too much. You're right. I haven't seen the video. I haven't seen a screenshot. I've only seen people writing and describing it. So
Yeah,
that's all I know. But
that's all I needed to hear.
you know, we're living in some different times now,
Yeah,
and it's almost like I don't know. It's we're coming. I think I'm a little desensitized. Even like once I heard it, I was like, whoa, 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 that's crazy. But then I almost was like, wait, like we're just living in these times of like OnlyFans and like a lot of people who,
yeah. They're
you know,
20
like
something
they're
year olds, like early
yes,
20s.
they just aren't. There's just a different way too. Like I think in our generation, like I'm even a little bit older than you still, but there's just a different generation switch now where like the kids now these days, and I feel like everything's just like a little bit like looser, or technology's just involved so much more. So since we're living on the
Yeah.
apps and using the apps, we're sending nudes on the apps, we're
Hmm.
recording these videos on the apps, and it's just like it's just too much. And I think we used to be like a little bit more discreet with our digital cameras and
A
whatnot back
hundred
in the
percent.
day.
I
So
hate to
yeah,
say it,
that whole
but it is
situation's
kind of,
insane.
yeah, it's kind of like use his, unfortunate scenario as an example to be more cautious on, what you share and what you do and post and whatnot.
Yes, I think in the end he really did handle it pretty good. I'm shocked
Yeah.
that I don't have the total ick from him, you know, which you
No?
would think something like that would happen. You would be like so grossed out. But there's something I feel some compassion obviously towards
Yeah.
the situation. But Nicole, going back to her, she played it totally wrong. Like, how did she come out?
Hmm.
She almost did have like the perfect victim card to play. Like, oh my God, woe is me. Like, I thought I loved this man and he betrayed me. But unfortunately she like fumbled it. She like fumbled the bag.
Yeah.
She like couldn't get that point across. She made it all about
Hmm.
herself and like how it affected her. And
It's
yeah,
been
I didn't.
crazy to like watch their journey, especially like I said with Nicole, she always rubbed me the wrong way from day one. But I was like, okay, you know what? They're a couple, they're sticking together. Like, let's just see it through, And it was the whole weird of like him saying I love you and whatnot, and then they're together. And so people were just kind of questioning, are the feelings even real to begin with? And when they were, at Love Island, and then when they came out, and then this happened, and she still stuck by him. I was like, okay, maybe the feelings are real. I don't know. And then she spoke, and I was like, no, they're not.
Yeah, it seemed like it went down in flames pretty fast there. I am wondering, like, I always have to put my like producer cap on a little bit, and I
Yeah,
think there was so much that was already happening from the time they left the island to before the reunion was even filmed that they were trying to contain some of it. Like, it was pretty obvious to everybody that they weren't going to end up together, and you know the whole joint statements that were released and all of
yeah,
this stuff now of the breakup. It's like it was all seems pretty like curated and like they were waiting to do that together.
yeah. People said it
I
looked
mean,
like a police report with like the whole dates and times. Like on this date, we agreed upon this, and then shortly after, on this date, he broke up with me. It's like, okay, relax.
yeah, relax is right. She really is just doing the most, and it's coming off again like disingenuous, and really we should be feeling bad for her. Like we should be having some sympathy for her situation. Like it's embarrassing. It is.
And it's
Yeah,
like, I was gonna ask you. I don't know if you saw the Nick Vial podcast with Nicole on it.
I
I know
didn't
we were
actually
talking about it, but
fill me in about it because you're right. I didn't get a chance to hear it today, but I do
yeah,
want to know what went down. So what'd she say?
since you and I like last spoke, I listened to that podcast and then I also saw this TikTok video about Nicole, but I'll address that one in a moment. Anyways, in the Nick Viall video or the podcast, he is getting so much hate and rightfully so because he had Nicole on there and all she did was just talk about the video, talk about the relationship, talk about Kendall, and the man's not even there to defend himself. And it was just so crazy because I've always been like a Nick Viall stan, and I was telling you, I was like, oh my God, give him a chance, da 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 da. And then that podcast was insane. And the fact that everybody that has listened to it, I mean, it's like an hour long or so, but she's just saying like all these things that are like awful about him. And it's like, what's crazy that I think in that podcast, she was still together with him. It's like, you don't talk about somebody that you love and care about like that.
Exactly. That's why I'm skeptical if they really were still together or if they were just dragging this out for the sake of it. But I really am curious. Like I'm just seeing a weird correlation too. I just I don't know. My gut is just telling me, that she would not have been that upset if this video was to a girl. I think she would have had some kind of like, okay, you're right. We really hadn't even met yet. You weren't really even like in the villa yet when this video, like I think there would have
Yeah.
been like as women, like we kind of can find that gray area of like, okay, well, we weren't really together. Like it wasn't that serious. It was just a video. Like I think that
Yeah.
if she really loved him, if they were really in love that way, like they really had that connection and they really wanted to be together, I do think like everybody was saying up on the reunion stage, like there's would have been some forgiveness. Like she
Yeah.
wasn't willing to forgive at all. And I honestly think my gut's just telling me it's just because of the promiscuity of the fact that maybe it was like with this guy. Because it's reminding me a lot of I don't know if you watched the Love Island or Love is Blind season
Yeah.
one.
That she found out about him being like bi or something, and then she immediately
Yes.
ended the
And
engagement.
then
Like,
all they were like in love going and like it's like
hmm
there is something about like internal it's like we can all be internally misogynistic, we can all be a little bit internally homophobic and like there is
yeah.
something that I'm getting from Nicole like that. Like
Yeah.
she's just giving me the vibe where like it's coming off like she's like grossed out and she like, can't believe like she's like
I know,
I can't
but
believe I would be with someone
what's
like that. I don't know. Not to like,
What's crazy
but
though is like she had so many opportunities though. Like it could have been like, hey babes, we're out of the island, like juices and things like that. Or like even right after they had that conversation with that exposure of the video, she could have just been like, hey, we went our separate ways. I wish him the best, da da da. He's surrounded with friends and family during this time. He still has my support as a friend, but we decided to not pursue this relationship. But the fact that she kept holding on to this relationship that was like not even a real relationship. Every time they talked about it, she's like, yeah, he only reached out a couple of times. It's like you left as boyfriend and girlfriend. And on the Nick Viall podcast, she was like, oh, am I texting him good morning? Am I texting him good night? She's like, no, we're not on those terms. It's like, what do you mean you're not on those terms? What terms are you on? What?
yeah, not none. I don't know.
What type
I
of
think there's
relationship is that?
exactly. I think maybe it was one for PR, one for clout, one for the longevity of the show. Maybe she was just playing the game. Like I think that's why that
But
was so
she wasn't even on like social media, she wasn't even milking it. Like she wasn't even posing for photos. She was just like she just left the island and tucked away. Kendall's living his best life, going to the clubs and everything. And it's like,
true.
yeah, I still got my girlfriend. It's like, what? It was just so bizarro world. I don't know what's going on with it.
It was. I'm not 100% sure either. I think that will always be one of the mysteries of the season, of the reunion that we'll never really know.
So I saw this TikTok video right before we were hopping on recording this, and it was actually insane to watch it because I forgot about this moment, but it was when Nicole was choosing like Miguel, and she was upset that Kendall like reacted a certain way, and she was like, "Is anybody surprised at the way that Kendall reacted?" And Serena was like, "No, like you both talked about being open to seeing other people." And she's like, she felt so like blindsided, and the other girls were just like, what do you mean? Like, and so nobody was like, on her side and she was like all upset. And I was just like, it's the same thing where she's like, she keeps saying, like, why doesn't anybody see it from my side? Why doesn't anybody feel sorry for me for what he did to me? And it's like, that's literally how she was in the reunion. I was like, oh my God,
Yes,
she
she
is just
definitely
that
has some
person.
kind of, yes, exactly. That is just her personality trait. She is just one of those girls. And I don't know, not my favorite type of girl, put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love way more the girls that come into the house with confidence, walk in, like just hold their head high. Like Serena really played the cards right this season, I think,
Hmm.
by allowing Cordell to kind of go away, give him that little bit of freedom to fuck up, and then realize what he was going to miss out on. I mean, sometimes that's an
Yeah.
important lesson versus doing the chasing, which was kind of more the Kaylor vibe for me.
Hmm.
And just like that constant, like, I don't know, not just that it was like a cute desperation. It wasn't like it was just a desperation for
Yeah.
love. It was,
She was
I think
just,
people still were rooting for her, but
yeah.
I was
We want the best
excited
for her. We
to
wanted to protect her, and then
exactly.
I think that's why everybody
Um,
was so extra tenfold mad at Aaron about it.
exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, getting in a little bit more into the reunion. And so they started off the episode kind of really talking about Serena and Cordell and like giving them praises and giving them their flowers and stuff. Like, did you think that they would leave the island together? Were you rooting for them the whole season?
Yes, oh my God, they kept like matching unintentionally. It was the cutest thing ever. All the little clips of them like dancing and making up their little secret handshake was literally adorable. And just like, I don't know, they just meshed so well. Like the clips when she's all like going down on him, and like, when he got back from Casa Amor, and then he's just there like,
I agree. I think
did
they're a really good match energetically.
did you hear I think they were on the Kiki Palmer podcast, and he was like, they didn't record or they didn't show like the whole argument or whatever, but there was like a line that she said that was like super funny. And it was so cute. Cordell was like, Serena, like, is it okay if I say it? And she's like, yeah, yeah, it's so funny. And she had said like you're a bitch, my ex is a bitch, so y'all
Stop
might as well
it.
be twins. And she was like, so y'all might as well be twins. I
That
was
was
like,
so good. Yeah, and I love that she's a good
yeah.
sport. And she's like, yeah, say it, like whatever. I know. I mean,
They're so
that
cute.
is, I don't know what I would do. Like, just being like the way that I am and like knowing everybody like in the zeitgeist. Like, I don't know what I would do if I walk into the villa and I knew Odell Beckham Jr.'s brother was there. Like, I, I, I'm pretty sure I probably would have been like gunning for that spot. But I'm
Nah,
glad that they
I'd
ended up
be scared. I'd
together.
be like, I don't know if I'm worthy. I was like
I
thrown
was like,
straight
yo,
into
he's
the
like dating
spotlight.
Kim.
Like,
He was, dating Kim Kardashian, and it was just like
oh,
I think I would be so starstruck to be around one
wait,
of
I
those
have a
people in that
question for
family.
you. I have a question for you I'm curious on your insight on this or your thoughts on it. But so people said that the cast from this season was like extra interesting because they all technically came from a background of money. Whereas in the past, that money would be life changing for certain, cast members. Where like, at the end, they choose if they want to split it or take it. But yeah, what are your thoughts on the fact that this cast actually came from money?
Wow, that is really interesting. I hadn't heard that, but definitely looking at them, yes, that would make sense. I could see that they would all not be these like extremely struggling, desperate kind of people that maybe like go on like the challenge or like some of these other reality, like Big
Yeah.
Brother, like some of these other shows where people really are regular people that desperately need that prize money.
Yeah, that they're just playing the role and trying to get that money as opposed to, I feel like maybe that's why we had so many like couples and like people actually genuinely trying to find like love. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. And I think that that did probably affect it in a good way, which is really good. Probably a good move on the
Yeah.
producers. I mean, I think that also, like, the quote that's like, you're not ugly, you're just broke. Like,
Yeah,
I think
a
to go
hundred
on one of
percent.
these shows, like, these girls all have amazing plastic surgery, hair extensions, beautiful bodies, hair
Yeah,
and makeup is fire, the outfits, like, you can't be broke to go on these shows. So they have to also be looking for people that can, like, supply and, like, look a certain type of way.
100%. I love like I thought it was so funny all these TikToks that came out that were like, Serena before, Love Island and Leah before Love Island and that people were just like she was beautiful then and she's beautiful now. And then like that's it.
Yeah.
Like what were you
I
trying
think
to
they has a
prove?
glow up. That's like a famous thing. Everybody, we all know, like you go on your first show and then you have a glow up. Like you see
Yeah.
yourself on TV and you're like,
You would
okay,
do
these
it
are all the
too,
things
boo,
I'm
if you
doing.
had the money.
That's just like human
Yeah.
nature. We were even like that, like after the pandemic, like doing all these Zooms and stuff. I was like, oh, girl needs that
Yeah,
Botox.
no, definitely.
But
But I
these
thought
girls,
that was so funny.
yeah, this cast is so young. Like they're also like naturally cute and beautiful anyway. Like these are young people, which is why I'm
Yeah,
skeptical. Like I just don't see any marriages in the future. Like a little bit of a sidebar. I'm sure you're a Molly May fan. I just feel like you strike me as the type of girl that would be into Molly May and Tommy Fury. But I don't know if you did watch them or if you know a lot about their relationship.
a little bit.
Yeah, they're obviously a Love Island UK couple that actually found love, got married, but Molly May actually was an influencer and had a following before she even went into the villa then. So it's
Hmm.
interesting how you're right. They do kind of like produce and find these kind of like people that are a little bit elevated in society to come onto these shows. But yeah, they got married. They found out that Tommy was cheating. They have a baby
Yeah.
named, I think,
Hmm.
Bunny or Barbie, or what is that baby's name? Something crazy. Yeah, but they were so young. Like, I think that they're only 25 now and they're already getting divorced. So it's like, it
Yeah.
shows you how young these people are. They go on the show, they fall in love. Like,
Hmm.
I don't see any real engagements coming from any of these couples anytime soon. I think that they're just
No,
like
yeah.
having fun and we're going to see how it all unfolds. But I think Serena and Cordell probably have like the best chance. I'm glad they won.
Yeah. I think
I don't know.
they're so low key and like genuine, and I'm not seeing them posting all these like crazy things online and whatever. It seems like they're actually like spending time together since they've been out of the island.
Yeah, they moved in together. So did Liv and Kaylor, which I think is so funny. I go back and forth with Kaylor. Like I think I have like moments with her where I do find her so endearing, and then I have moments with her where I'm like, okay, girl. Like I go back and forth with her, but I really like Liv. Like Liv, I think was one of my
Yeah.
favorite
Oh my
girls in
God.
the villa.
Liv is, yeah, she's awesome. I know she had some hot moments in the house, but like when they show clips of like her and Leah, like they're a power duo. Like you do not mess with them too. Like,
Yeah.
but oh gosh. So like for Kaylor, I feel like Kaylor when she's in, I think she's from Pennsylvania, like, she's
Mhm.
she's not like the normal girls that are out there. She's extra spicy and da da da. But then when you pluck her and put her around girls from California and whatnot, then she kind of blends in a bit. So I think that that's where sometimes
Yes.
I'm like, yeah, she has a really cool, unique personality, and then there's times where she just kind of blends in.
Yes, exactly. I love how they used the phrase like backseat a lot this season, like taking a back seat, like to some of the other people, and then like people kind of like finding their like way in the villa of where they fit in, and like
Yeah.
the queen bees versus the ones that are kind of like the supporting roles. It's an interesting like social experiment. I love watching
Oh,
these
100%.
shows. And the best thing
Yeah.
about Love Island, I think the thing that people are just like so blown away, and it's so different than all these other shows, is the way that they film it, release the episodes so soon after. You're really
Oh my God,
watching it
yeah.
while they're
Hmm.
there, and it's so just interactive. It's almost like the Big Brother house where they have that 24-hour feed. It's obviously not the same. This is like an
Hmm.
edited version, but it's pretty unedited too. Like that's the best thing about Peacock is
Yeah.
that uncensored, unedited. You get all the Fox, you get all of
They have
the
to wear like the mics and everything, like 24/7, they said. But that brings me up to, I meant to ask you, what are your thoughts on the rumors on like the same sex like couple hooking up from like the whole time, allegedly an OG cast member, or, like both of them? I don't know.
So I didn't know that it was a same-sex rumor. See, I didn't know that. So this whole time I was imagining, I didn't really think too deeply about it, but for
Dumas
some
posted
reason,
it.
yes. And this is my thing about Dumois, and people do like roast her too, is it's like, okay, like I feel like at some point she does reveal the blind. And it's like you can't just keep, now she did like another re-release that she was like, yep, I'm still promoting this, I'm still getting this. And it's like, okay, release the names. Like it's
Yeah.
time, because
Yeah.
I understand that maybe now learning that it's a same-sex couple, I'm wondering, I mean, it can go so many different ways, so many different combinations it could go with, but I'm wondering if why she's protecting it is because it's same sex. And again, just kind of the situation with the Kendall of it all. It's like you don't really want to like go too hard on these things when it is somebody's like, they want
Yeah.
to out anybody, you know?
I
It's
mean,
hard. I don't
I
think she
just don't,
wants to out
I don't even
anybody.
really know. Yeah, I don't really know like who it would be. Maybe she's worried about the legality, but it's like, why even put anything like that out there and create the
I mean,
speculation about it? Some
if
people said
we're,
she just wants to be thrown in and be relevant. So maybe,
yeah, I mean,
who
a
knows?
fun,
I mean, a lot of these cast members were, isolated for like months or like a whole month before they even got like, let's say 2 days in the film.
yeah, exactly. No,
And
that's
then,
true.
I don't know early's like, I don't know, what scenarios
Yeah.
and whatnot with it, but like, I
I
don't know.
mean,
I
yeah,
think,
it makes it a lot different to speculate on it when I know that it's same sex
yeah.
now. Like, it's fun to think, okay, what other couples would it be if it was a guy and a girl? I'm like, ooh, was it Kayla and
Yeah,
Miguel? Was it Leah
I would
and
have.
Rob? Were
Yeah,
they still secretly hooking up even though they, it's like you
exactly.
could
That's
go.
what
Like,
I was like, maybe.
I thought it was
Who
Rob and
knows?
somebody, but now I don't get
Yeah.
the vibe of a same sex from him. So, but then again, I'm like, wait, I
Yeah.
could totally be wrong. He's the snake wrangler. I mean,
I
he
mean,
loves the
Rob
snake.
also, Rob also straight up to Miguel was like, "Oh yeah, I couldn't be me hooking up in the villa," when it's like everybody knew, like literally the
Yeah.
morning of.
Oh my gosh,
But
you're right.
um, I had heard that, I think, was it on the podcast? I can't remember. But Serena had actually told Nicole that she had heard rumors about Kendall, and then the video and stuff was all like released. But I
Damn.
wonder who Serena heard the rumors of before. I think she heard rumors about Kendall before a video was released. So I
Wow.
don't
I
know.
mean, obviously, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, Kendall's kind of mixed up in a couple of these different circles of these girlies and
Yeah,
people that are on TV and filming things. And I think that
yeah,
I mean, anybody that's applying to be on the show obviously has some kind of desire to be in the public eye and be on TV and kind of,
yeah.
like who knows? Oh my gosh. We'll have to see.
Part of the reason I also thought that Kendall and like Nicole were maybe staying low key was that they're both in like medical sales and whatnot. So I was like, oh, maybe they did the villa and then, they're out of the house and then they're back to work. And maybe they told him like, hey, just try to stay out of drama like after. I was hoping for the best.
I know, right? Same with me and when Liv and Kayla announced that they both dropped out of school and are just pursuing their influencer life. I was like, damn, I was really
Oh,
hoping for the best for everybody, but it's got to just be addicting. I mean, like
yeah.
it really, when you have this much attention, these many brand deals, you're obviously getting money to do the show. I mean, how much? I wonder. I can't remember how much Serena and Cordell got for winning. Was it like 20?
Oh, $100,000, and then they split
Okay.
it, so $50,000 each.
Okay, so that's pretty good. So I mean, but
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
not. That's yeah, but they're not going to be like on private jets. I mean, they're going to have
yeah,
to.
I know.
It's
I,
not
I
like
think,
life changing amount of money. Yeah.
yeah, no, they'll just go on a shopping spree and call it a day. No, I was kidding.
Yes.
If they got their cute apartment, maybe they'll, furnish that for, oh gosh, I forgot what I was going to say just now.
No, no worries. I know this is a good stream of consciousness. I just wanted to also. Okay, so what else happened at the reunion? Like we had kind of the social media of it all. So I guess we can talk a little bit about what's been going on like outside of the show because I know Leah
Yeah.
posted a thing too about being
Oh,
racist and growing up racist, and then we had Daniela talking about suicide prevention. It does
hmm
seem like the rise to fame for these Islanders has been really hard.
oh, it's been
Um,
insane. The fans, it's literally a whole fandom. Like, it's insane how
but what
fast and how everybody loves and hates.
Yes, that's totally part of it too, is the idea that like we put somebody on a pedestal, they do one thing wrong, they're canceled the next second. Like it's such a roller coaster ride. But when you're online and you're seeing comments and stuff, like what are some
Yeah.
of the things that you're like mostly seeing, like some of the themes?
At first, I was worried about how everybody was attacking Aaron. Obviously, he had his mistakes and went about things the wrong way. And that's like not to defend him or give an excuses. But at the end of the day, these are like early 20 something year olds, at the end of the day, and they're out there, for entertainment. But then they're still a normal person. It's still like their lives. They still were trying to pursue a real relationship with a real person. And they were just crucifying him about it. And then they were also going after Kayla, yeah, everybody's been, young, and especially her. She just kept saying, like, yeah, I think she's 22. Like, yeah, I'm young, I'm 22. I'm going to go through heartbreak. Like, it's that people go through that, make decisions and sometimes, see somebody with their rosy gold, colored glasses.
Yes, I think that everybody thinks like even with the Love Island UK girls, like remember when they revealed them, like they did like the cast reveal and everybody was guessing the ages of the girls and they're guessing they were like in their
Oh my
40s,
God,
but they were
yes.
really only like 21. Like I don't think that
Those
the
camera
USA
people
girl.
just doing so dirty. Oh my God. Hannah, Jesus, they kept going
Oh
after
my
Hannah.
God.
Oh my gosh.
No, like
And then
the
like the clip
UK
with
girls, they
her was
look
like all
crazy.
natural.
Yes, exactly. Like UK girls, like they look crazy. Like we know that they're plastic surgery. There's like not the same regulations in the UK, and like anybody can do injections, and that's why everybody's
Yeah.
like delivered to the gods. But the USA girlies, like they don't look as crazy in comparison, but like they still look crazy for being 21, 22. Like they have a lot.
Yeah.
Some of them have a lot of work done, and I think they look older than they are. So then you're watching them on TV, and you're like, okay, why are these 40-year-old women dating these fuck boys and like making these mistakes because the men look
Yeah.
young, like the men look like
Uh,
babies. So I
the
think that
Casa the
they're
Casa
forgetting they're so
boys.
young.
the Casa Boys literally look like they were 12, like straight out of like it's
Yeah.
still in high school. Like they look like they couldn't even grow a beard. No, like no offense to them, but I'm sure they're great guys.
No, I
I
know.
was
That's
just
the
like,
funny thing
oh,
about
they did
watching
them
these
dirty.
shows. Yes, as we get older, like the contestants get younger and it is kind of
Yeah,
hard to watch, but it's cool. And yeah, it's not supposed to be that serious. Like everyone is taking it so seriously online. Like the hate
yeah,
and the fandom is so crazy. Like this is supposed to be just like a funny, like fun, campy, love dating show. Again, we know that this isn't like The Bachelor where they're really getting, there's no
yeah,
engagement at the end. It's not like there's this big pressure, like you don't even have to leave together, like they're,
yeah.
like even if you
Just
win, like
choosing each other, sticking it
yes,
through.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's not supposed to be that serious. So I'm hoping, Ariana was able to diffuse a little bit of it. People will
Yeah,
hopefully hear her and heed her words and like take what she said seriously. She's been through it. And yeah, especially with the
it's
Bravo fandom getting involved. Like I don't think a lot of these people realize
yeah.
like the Bravo fans are absolutely insane. They can be really cutthroat and ruthless. So they have to be careful.
People are saying, I mean, Daya, yeah, she
Oh
was like
yeah,
on a
Daya.
live. Yeah,
Yes.
she's like on a live while she's in Greece, just like giving boohoo from after the reunion. It's like, okay, first off, you're in Greece, go enjoy your vacation. Like, why do you have to
Yeah.
keep jumping chronically on all these lives and like feel like you have to give your 2 cents or have your truth out there? It's like, what truth you're in there for 30 seconds, But she was saying
Exactly.
how Ariana was trying to say, get over it. Like I've had worse things when I was on Vanderpump Rules or whatever. Like this is all alleged because she's the only one that said this. Nobody else has said it. But she's like, first off, like, why are you saying that? Like, you've been on Vanderpump Rules, and she was trying to say like Vanderpump Rules. I think it's like, hello, she was part of the biggest like, cheating scandal that just happened like across the board, and that's why she's been on like Dancing with the Stars, and now she's the host of this. So it's like, put some respect on her name. But
Facts. Like,
but
don't
yeah,
come
it's
for my
like,
girl.
yeah, I mean, she was trying to say like that, yeah, okay, this season has done amazing, has, a lot of views, a huge fan base, but a lot of people are like, does she not remember that Ariana brought this whole fan base? Everybody's been hyping her up and just supporting her. And this season also was just crazy. So it like tenfold it.
Yes.
It was just
It
wild.
it was wild. Like I think that it's inevitable. There's going to be a little bit of that, but it does really make a difference when people stand up for it. They call for a stop. Like even with everybody with the Kendall stuff, they were like, Leave this poor man alone." Like,
Yeah.
it was actually the one thing that kind of like brought the cast all together, despite all of
Yeah.
their differences, is the idea that like, okay, like it's the Islanders versus the world. Like you guys can't come for us like
Yeah.
this.
Like at the end of the day, like nobody else knows what they went through except for them that actually went through it together. They're almost like a little bubble of a family. I love that everybody was just like, regardless of, the whole background story of this video, da da da, the timeline, whatever, that should never have happened to anybody. And
Yeah.
realistically, they were all equally vulnerable to, leaks happening to them. Honestly, that's what they were saying. It's like, it could have been any of us.
It really could have been, and it was
Yeah.
an unexpected twist that it was a guy. Like that's just so something that usually happens to like one of the girls with the revenge porn case, It just, but it was
Yeah.
just a little twist, and it just shows like it can literally happen to anybody, like guy or girl. Like anybody that comes onto these shows better be making sure that when they come on, like they are prepared and they've kind of like cleaned
Yeah.
up, kind of like being a housewife. Like
Don't
you get,
cross anybody. No, no.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Don't poke
don't piss
anybody
off
that has
any
dirt
women,
on
exes,
you.
whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go on the show. Don't apply on the show if you're in a
No,
relationship with somebody that you know is
absolutely
going to be
not.
pissed when they see that you went on. It's like be smart.
Hmm.
Again, they're so young, like,
Yeah.
I think the only people we really didn't talk about, which is kind of funny to me because it's kind of been like the theme for me this season, is
Oh, I know.
Janae and Kenny.
Yes.
I just like literally forget they exist
Kenny.
all the time. And
Kenny.
I like going into like the bonfire conversation that they had to show, and the whole unedited. I'm really glad
Yeah.
they did that, and I think again they had to do that because the fans will like make up their own narratives and push
Yeah,
things,
they
and they're
just
like,
had to put it to
let's just fucking
peace.
put a stop to it, yeah, and like release the
Hmm.
whole thing. But I do kind of agree with. I mean, there was a lot going on in that conversation, but when it came to like the Janae part of it about how she really technically was kind of the one that wasn't really with anybody at the moment and was kind of the obvious choice to be sent home. But then of course they get into this
Hmm.
whole conversation about sending Andrea, even though she had this connection with Rob. And I mean, where did you fall in all of
Yeah,
that? What did you think happened?
I don't know, a little bit taken. Well, I was surprised at their whole reasoning, and which was, being open to love. And when they have new people come in and to test the waters with others and whatnot, because it still kind of was, I would say, like early on, maybe midway or so. And they're like, Andrea was just like locked on Raw, like ASAP. They felt like, whether people are coming and going or the games and whatnot, like being open to it. But yeah, I think that was an interesting perspective. And I think with the scenario that Janae had, she deserved better than the guy that, she was with. I already forgot Coy, right? Coy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, what was his name again?
I think it was something like
But
that. You're right. I
yeah,
don't remember
he
either,
like
but
he was like never around her, like never like would check in on her. All the other boys are like, oh, they're making them waffles and breakfast and blah blah blah. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy that things played out the way that they did, like exactly how Rob said in the reunion when they asked him like any regrets and da da da. Obviously, this man has regrets, but I'm happy that he was like at the end of the day, he's happy how it played out because it opened up, beautiful new relationships. And it's like, okay, that's mature of you to say.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like a butterfly effect of like, okay, I did this, and
Yeah.
like luckily it ended up working out in the end for everybody. Janae
Hmm.
is happy now, it seems, with Kenny.
Oh my God, they're literally so cute, so cute.
They're funny. Like she is funny. I really loved her like reunion performance. I was living for the
Oh my gosh.
receipts, and I mean, we know there was so much that was taped that wasn't
Yes.
filmed.
Oh,
They do that on
I.
purpose, and that happens with Housewives reunions a lot too. Like people will bring receipts and have proof, but like because for the sake of like the whole environment and universe around it, it's like not worth it sometimes to put some of this stuff out there, even though it was proved. So they sometimes
Yeah.
will just like be like, okay, we're not getting involved in this, and
It's
they'll
almost
just
like as
cut
long as they
it.
cleared it up amongst themselves and they had their piece amongst
Exactly.
themselves, and if you needed to correct, a misinterpretation, da 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 da. But
Yeah.
yeah, is it worth it to make the cut or not? Because I thought it was so funny, and I just kept laughing at the fact that all these poor like Casa girls and da 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 like flew out, or, picked out outfits, whatever. I didn't see like any really much photos of them, like even on the carpet, like they're
Oh,
like cut, like
yeah. Yeah,
none
exactly.
of them
They
spoke. Like I saw more of the Pizza Hut boxes than I saw of any of them. I'll be honest.
I I agree. I think there was so much like product placement and they spent so much time like showing us shit that we really didn't need to see.
Oh,
I mean,
mm-hmm.
I always count too, like something that will drive me crazy is like the amount of times they take breaks because it's 20 seconds
Yes,
every time they take a break. And then it's like by the time they come back and they recap with it, it's like, okay, we're wasting all this time taking a break, Ariana. Like, but it's not her
yes.
fault. It's not her fault. The
I mean,
reunion, yeah, it left everybody with so many questions.
people were shitting on Ariana for like the questions, and I saw like in a TikTok comment, she said, "Okay, maybe next year they'll let me ask my own questions." So it's like,
Yeah, hello. It's like, okay,
leave me
I remember
alone. They
my
made
first
me ask things
reunion.
like
Yeah, it's
she's
like
like,
we all get to
I'm just
choose.
doing my job here. Like people need to relax. Like,
Yeah, they like literally give me cards and tell me what to say. Like there's
yeah,
no like off script questions typically, like she's there to really be like a
yeah,
ringleader. Yeah, I thought like overall it was pretty good. I mean, the one thing again, like the one biggest mystery I think everybody's still waiting is like what happened with Aaron and Keeler before the thing that took them so long to start filming. Like what was the drama that went down with them before that affected everything? I don't think we'll ever know.
yeah, yeah. I'm not sure either, but
Because
well,
they said
there's a
that they
couple
were
of
like supposed to
there.
start filming and like they
Yeah, and
couldn't
they
because
didn't.
there was something going on with them and it like, went on for hours. I'm like, okay, but like what was it? Was it
Yeah,
a fight? Was it
they
like were
they were
they
supposed to start at 6 and they didn't start until like 10 or 11, I think. So yeah, a good chunk of hours. So there's a couple of mystery things that were left. It just still a mystery. What about Kane? Kane was flown out there, and then he flew his ass back. He probably
Honestly,
got
like,
whiplash
snag.
off that.
Yeah, it's like a free trip to New York. Like some of these guys, it was their first time in New York ever,
Jeez.
so free trip. But
Oh
no,
my
that's
gosh. Yeah. So Kane
imagine
and this like
literally.
producer, I don't know. He didn't even unzip his suitcase, I swear to God. I think he flew in and flew out in the same outfit. I don't even know. But so there's that one. And then the like I don't know if you saw it circulating like on the internet, like Liv and her hair all disheveled and like an alleged bruise or something on her face.
Yes,
Like
yes, I did.
that's a whole mystery. I don't know.
That is so true. What was going on with her? She seemed like she was in good spirits throughout the reunion for the most part. No, I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't really recall her being like acting crazy or acting like she was like maybe they had been like, I don't know, drinking or something. I don't know. Maybe, were they like no, I don't know. I don't think they were probably allowed to, and they were there for so they sat there for 5 hours before filming. They must have all been
Oh my God,
sobered up.
Cordell fell asleep. Cordell fell asleep in the snips
That
of
was
the.
probably my favorite part of the reunion was Cordell's sleeping ass,
Oh
laying
my
there,
God.
dozing off, eating food. I loved all of them like eating the snacks. Like I have so many screenshots I took of all of them like popping popcorn, like literal
Oh
popcorn
yeah.
sitting there being like, my gosh.
Wait, I have a question for you. So out of the, all the members that went to the reunion, who is somebody that you were really looking forward to speaking that we didn't hear anything about? That
I
nobody had a
think
moment to.
Yeah, I feel like Leah, like again, like as my favorite of the season, I just wanted to hear more about like her experience, her perspective. Like we didn't hear anything about her and Rob. We didn't touch on any of their relationship at the reunion, any if there were any feelings or I mean, I don't know. Like maybe there's nothing left to say, but I feel like we should have touched in with that a little bit more. I think I don't really like feel like I like even though Miguel like it's like I'm like neutral with him. Like I don't love him because I feel like I don't
Hmm.
know him well enough to really like
I know.
he doesn't have
I
that
have no
outgoing
idea about anything
personality.
about him.
Yeah, I'm like
He's
everyone
mystery
loves
man.
them, but I'm like I think they just love him because he is with Leah and everyone loves Leah. Like really I don't dislike him. I just don't see what they like everyone likes in him so much. I don't know. Like they're all
He's
right. He's all
silly.
right.
When they were saying that you have the option to go to Casa Amor, he like was damn near skipping out of the house doing cartwheels out of it.
That's
He
true.
was like,
That's
"Bye."
true. That's true. Like he's obviously a good guy and like a likable, character on the show, but I don't know. Like I want something different for Leah. I see big
I don't
things for
even
my
know anything
Leah.
about him.
Yeah, I don't think that this is the end all for her. I want to see her
Yeah,
with like I need to see her with some like A-list celebrities. Like I just
yeah.
need that. I just need that for her. I feel like she's like destined to be a star and like be, she's
Hmm.
been signed by a talent agency. I think we're going to be seeing like other things from her in the future. Hopefully she'll be cast on other shows. I know they're going to do a Love Island games. I've never
Yeah.
participated or watched any of those episodes, so
Me neither.
I don't
I've
know what that's
seen him, but
about.
it just seemed a little gimmicky, so like I didn't go down that rabbit
Oh yeah, it's
hole.
a
But
total
but
money
now I feel
grab.
like I'll look at it though.
Peacock and Bravo like they love a money grab. They love to like capitalize off of a moment and like just okay, let's just do something really quick while everybody's like it's popular and we can like make something out of this. So it probably won't be good, but people will still watch because it'll be like good people on it.
Yeah, I mean, people are dying to see PPG, like something, PPG about something. Like they either need a
Yes.
podcast, a show, like a series. They
Ooh, I
need
would love a
something.
podcast. That would be cool. I don't know if I can listen to Leah's voice. I don't know. There's something
Oh man,
about
you sent me that podcast.
no, that
I can't
TikTok.
even
Oh my
remember.
God.
Like,
You guys, I
you
will like link
guys,
this TikTok in
so
my
Miguel and I. No, okay, I can't even do it because I'm
I
not
know I'm
doing
trying
even
to
a disservice. I don't. I'm not trying to piss Leah off either. Like, I'm not trying to make fun of her, but she does have a very
no.
unique speech pattern.
Yes, it is like she speaks just with like she's like guys,
Hey
guys, it's
guys.
Leah. No, it
Oh,
sounds
like I
no,
can't really do. Yeah, I know. And
I
then
love her, but you know what? We
I
can't.
wish I could
I
do like
actually
Miguel's
love that she
accent.
has a crazy voice because she would just be like way too hot, funny, and perfect if she didn't have like something wrong with her.
Oh
So
yeah, like a
now
little
that she
unit. Yeah.
when she starts talking, it's like okay, she's not perfect. She's got a flaw.
Oh my God,
She's got a
when
flaw.
she was talking to Aaron. She was like, "Are you a gossiper? Or you just a little bitch?" With her voice. I was like, "Oh my God, is she about to like punch him?"
No,
Oh,
I didn't
I don't.
realize at first. Like it took me a minute when the TikTok of that one of her going like, if you hear when you hear something bad about me, whenever it is time to buy a million it's worse. Like I didn't know that was her for a
Yeah,
while, and then finally when I realized that was Leah's voice, I was like, her voice is crazy.
yeah.
I'm like, what is she saying? Oh
Yeah,
my
I know it's
God.
got some street in it. No, yeah, definitely interesting. I'm trying to think of who else. So yeah, I mean, I would have loved to just hear what Caden would have had to say about his experience. The fact that we're like, all right, you're being booted off the island. You got 5 seconds to GTFO.
Yup.
And then all the, Casa More girls saying, oh my gosh, reunion was so traumatizing. And it's like, what of it though? What of it was, please talk about that. Tell me what was traumatizing.
Yep. I
None of us know what you're talking about.
The only person I believe when they say that is Nicole, because I do believe Nicole thinks that she was traumatized. And I don't think that she's like playing it. I think she truly believes her own story.
Yeah.
So I think that she's been traumatized. But everybody else, it's like life will go on. They're gonna forget
Yeah.
and it'll be a blip in the radar eventually, and that's how a lot of this stuff and these trends go. Right now it's everything everybody can talk about, but once they're off screen for a
Yeah.
while, it's going to be up to them to keep their popularity, keep their followers, keep themselves up. I know Rob has plans. I mean, he's clearly been somebody who's been trying to
Yeah.
be an
He's
influencer,
he's
somebody
an
for a long
actor, da
time.
da da. He
Exactly.
already had his following and everything, his niche already known. I'm curious, what do you think, like Kenny and like Janae and like Serena and Cordell and such, like what do you see in their predict in their future?
I see Serena and Cordell staying together for a while. I see them like probably doing this, writing this out for a while, being together. And then I do unfortunately predict some kind of a breakup eventually. Either something mutual, like I don't think of something bad will happen, but they'll like have like we love each other. We've reflected on the past year. We're so glad
Like a
we've
mutual
met, but like we've
statement. Yeah.
yeah, because I do for some reason friend vibes from them. And
Hmm.
I'm curious, they kiss and I see the physical affection and stuff, but
Yeah,
I
it's
just,
like that married couple that you never like, let's say mom and dad that you never see them kiss.
yeah, exactly. It's like I believe they have a real connection and stuff, but I wonder like if it will be, and then again, you have to go back to these rumors about the other couples that were hooking up. Like, is Serena somebody that maybe like, could she be
Yeah.
somebody who maybe, like, I don't know. Like, you just never know who all these jumblies are. But
But
yeah,
what
that's
do we think
one.
about like whether it's brand deals or like podcasts or shows or acting and things like that? Because like Cordell just got that Cheez Its brand deal.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
amazing.
yeah, he obviously comes from like such an affluent family anyway. Like he's probably going to be
He
able to
built,
pick and choose the things that he really wants to do, and he's not going to take like
yeah.
every opportunity probably. Where somebody like some of the
What do you
girls
mean?
I can see,
He built his Cheez It brand deal brick by brick.
he did. I can't take away like how he is very like enigmatic, and people love him. He was
Yeah.
really clearly the favorite. So I can't just say he's Odell Beckham's brother. His brother forever. He's made
He's
his
been
own
trying to break
identity.
that.
He's made his
Yeah.
own stamp. He's obviously a little cutie. I see like nothing bad for them in the future, but for some reason, I think it'll be the opposite with Kenny and Janae. I think something will go down. I think everybody will take Janae's side.
Oh my
Something will
gosh.
happen and they'll
I
break up.
I almost like fell on my seat when she said, "We're pregnant." I was like,
Oh my God. No, I thought that was so funny. And she was like, nobody gets my sense of humor. And I was like, I kind of actually agree. Like, I kind of get that. And I think that's why maybe I don't. I'm like, you're right. I don't think I get her sense of humor. So I think that that's where I disconnect with her. But that was funny. And everybody was like, what even Kenny was like, what the fuck?
yeah, Kenny's eyes were like, "Are we?" And
Oh,
then
that
everybody
was
laughed. He's like, "I
funny.
know." He like Kenny's always on like fight or flight or something, like trying to read her jokes. Like, is this woman for real or what? But yeah, I'm curious like what they're gonna pursue like after this. I know that Liv and Kayla are gonna do like some social media influencing, careers and whatnot. Leah's totally fine, already doing whatever she's doing. She's like, she did the reunion and then she was like, deuces, that's all that they're getting from me, you know? But yeah, I don't know. I actually don't even know what Kenny did before.
I don't
He worked at
either.
Staples with that wardrobe. I don't know.
Yeah, seriously. Something like basic, I think. Probably just, some kind of corporate sales job or something, maybe. Something normal. I don't see him being I don't know what he does.
Yeah, and like Janae is like so beautiful. I don't know if was she like a model before and she's just gonna continue to do that.
Yeah, I know that she had a big following too, and is definitely interested in, keeping that going. So they're probably not going
Yeah.
anywhere. We'll have to We'll have to see. I mean, this has been such a great conversation. I mean, do you have any other things that happen? Any questions? Anything else that you want to know about?
I guess what are your thoughts on kind of how things ended or were left off with Andrea and like how the girls and that conversation and everything?
That is a good question. I found myself liking her by the end. I think, when she was in the situation, everybody was just so standing Leah and like having it was just really hard to give her a chance and like allow Rob to have this other connection the way that things played out. And I do believe that she was really into Rob, but I do
Hmm.
also believe that was not reciprocated, and it
Yeah.
sounds like even afterwards Rob even got maybe like more of an ick from her, or like really didn't like her and who she was outside of the villa. So I think she kind of like, maybe she was, I don't know, she just either was being herself too much and she's like just not a likable person, and so that was reading through the screen, or
Yeah.
maybe she just didn't represent herself right and we all kind of like got the wrong idea of her. I don't know, did you like her?
I didn't like or dislike her. I feel like she, for the hot second that she met Rob and she, fell head over heels and it was, summer loving type of thing. And then it ended so fast. And then she was holding on to that like feeling of like what could have been, and romanticizing like the 2 seconds that they had together. And so she was thinking and hoping that couple of mutual feelings for that little bit was reciprocated and maybe tenfold. And then it was like the tough reality of her chronically being on lives and just talking, like obsessing over it. And it's like that was a huge ick. But also the reality of when Rob got out of, Love Island and he was like, yeah, I'm not about that. That also just like hurt her even more, like her feelings. It was just like she could have just gone about things. She could have been like the cool chill girl, but she was not. That's like the
Yeah,
only, issue I have with her. As far as her as a person, like, yeah, the girl likes to sing, let her sing. Like there's a bunch of singers on social media, let her live.
right.
She's trying to just play along with the jokes and it's like let it be. Like I hate that everybody's just like, Andrea, like not today, can't do this with you today.
Yeah.
Stop doing the live today. It's like, dude, just let her live. It's like social media. Everybody's free to post whatever they want, either follow or don't follow or skip her video. But
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
she's
That's
getting dragged
that's
for
how
too
like
long.
yeah, and that's how like this like younger generation like really like when I'm always like when I was a kid, like I used to call my friends, or like go meet up with them. But now people get on their social media, they go on live. That's how they connect with their friends and their families and stuff. And I think that yeah, these kids that are going to social media, I think that that's just a younger thing. And a lot of the things and the mistakes that a lot of the girls and the guys made were just something that come with age, something that come with wisdom. These are like children basically at
Yeah.
this point that are in these experiments. So
I
I
think
hope everybody is able to kind of give themselves some grace.
I think that, and I hope that, a lot of girls that watch like Love Island and are also in their 20s, etc., see the stark like difference of being like a girl's girl, and that's how PPG were, and Liv and all of them. And yeah, Andrea was not a girl's girl in the sense that anytime she was being interviewed, she kept saying like, "Oh yeah, I think I could have stolen like Miguel, or I could have, gotten like Aaron and da 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 da." And it's like, okay, but then you're saying that you want it to be like a girl's girl and whatever. It's like, but you're on these podcasts saying you could stole any guy, and it's like, also in what world? What?
Yeah,
She just kept digging the hole bigger for herself.
yeah, but that's a perfect example too. And like I think people when they get in front of the cameras and they get in front of these things, like maybe they like distort their opinions and stuff, trying to say what they think people want to hear versus what they
Yeah.
really
That
feel.
I think
And
that is, yeah, I think that is a huge, like I'm on this podcast, I got to give them some juice or tea, I got to give them something interesting to talk about. Versus like, well, I'm not going to speak on that because I respect da da da. It's like,
exactly.
okay,
It's yeah, that doesn't really unfortunately get them anywhere in the reality TV world. You got to be willing to get messy and like roll your sleeves up and like really get in there. If you're taking a back seat, you're gonna literally be
yeah,
like everybody at the reunion that we never saw. We're
uh,
there as a ghost and never had
a
any
little,
screen time.
a little tiny part of me still hopes that there might be a part two, but I know that there won't.
No, unfortunately, I think Peacock
Yeah.
really fucked that up, and like they're getting
Oh
roasted
my
too
God.
because whatever
Yeah.
intern was like copying or putting that down. Like I think maybe they did shoot enough for a second part. I think that they probably had maybe plans to do two, but something changed
100%.
last minute. Maybe it has something to do with the fandom, and like you said, we need to get this show done. We need to get these people like off TV and like get back on, catch and release, because they're
Yeah.
getting like attacked every day, and we need to like be done with
Yeah.
this. So
I
instead
think,
of a whole other week of waiting for like another drop and
yeah.
everybody every
Yeah.
day, what's part
More
two?
will
What's
just continue.
this?
So I
Yeah,
think the way that they went about as far as the timeline, I wish that they had done, the finale, and then that following week should have been like the reunion. That way,
yeah,
not too far. It was almost like too far in between where a lot of things were being released. Even like Keeler spilling the beans about breaking up with Aaron and whatever beforehand. It's like, at that point, everything's already been beaten to death as far as topic. So, and then the thing that we really wanted to hear wasn't even talked about. So it's like
yeah.
that timeline should have been a little bit shorter, and then it should have been like 2 parts.
Yep,
Yeah.
definitely. And I think they messed it up a little bit, but all in all, I feel satisfied from the season. I think everybody like
Oh, I
went on a
love it.
wild journey this year, and we fell in love with so many new people that we get to like follow online now and see what they're up to.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my favorite parts about reality TV is like these aren't scripted characters that die or get killed off. Like these are real people now we get to like follow,
Hmm.
interact, and
Yeah.
live life with. So I'm
Yeah.
excited about that, and I'm excited to see just, yeah, the way things unfold.
Definitely. I mean, still waiting to hear, yeah, more truths being released out there, but I'm kind of sad at ending because it's like I don't even know what to watch now.
I know. Yep. It's like back to the drawing board, but you'll always
Yeah, I
find
feel
new
lost.
things. There's always something. There's always something
Yeah.
new. There's like, unfortunately, with these things, like it's so important in the moment. And then again, like it starts to kind of fade away. And then it becomes just like, oh, I remember when I watched that. So it's kind of cool how these things affect us. And then also like how they just get like sucked into the atmosphere afterwards.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back to watching The Bachelorette, which I kind of skipped some
No,
episodes.
no, don't be scared. Well, welcome to my life. Like I was also in such like a drought. Like there was like what they call like the Great Housewives drought of like 2024. Like
Yeah.
we had one period of time where there was only like one Housewives on, which was usually like 4 weeks. So we were all like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna watch? And that was right when The Bachelorette started. And so I got deep into this season. So maybe we'll have to have you catch up and we'll do like an episode about this season because the finale is gonna be
Yeah.
next week is the no, the
Because
finale's not
she's
till
already
September
down.
3rd.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say she still has a couple of guys left, but
Yeah,
it's
she has
just
like
been
her
such a.
hometown, and then of course the finale. There's like the guy tells all, so I think there's still like 3 more
Oh
episodes.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I
Okay.
love a good guys tell all.
That tell all is gonna be so dry. It's gonna be so dry.
It's
I
gonna be
already know
Sam
it. These,
M. Do you know who
yeah,
Sam
it
M
just
is?
literally,
You're like keeping the main thing the main thing.
yeah, yeah,
I
literally. And then who's the other one that he's like friends with, like Thomas or
Oh my God, Tom's N. I
yeah,
get so mad at these boys. No, don't even get me
yeah.
started, or I'll be here for
Okay,
another
okay.
hour.
We'll
But no,
we'll
I
pin the
appreciate
topic.
you.
Yeah, we'll pin the topic.
Yes, I appreciate you so much for coming on, Joe. This was so fun. I know that we could like do this about so many things, but make sure you're following me at Bella Talks TV. Make sure you rate, review, leave some comments. If you're on the YouTube, make sure you leave us some positive reviews. I'm trying to get that going. Some 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And yeah, make sure you're following me on my TikTok too, you guys, because Joe has been very instrumental in getting me on TikTok and making sure
Hmm.
that I am doing that. And I actually made my very first TikTok today. It's a voiceover get ready with me video. And
Ooh.
I'm about to release it. I wanted to wait to announce it on the pod
Give the
tonight.
people what they want.
So every week I'm always like telling people like make sure you're following me on Instagram, but like don't look for me anywhere else because I don't exist. But no, I'm on TikTok now. So at Bella Talks TV, come follow me. Thanks for being
Yes.
here, Joe. We'll catch up again soon, girl.
Please,
Love you.
please leave comments on all the things and opinions on the reunion as well. We love to read through it all.
Yes, leave your comments and leave all of your opinions so that we can comment back. Bye,
Thank
Joe.
you.
Thank you.
Bye.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down.